Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome you all to the most exciting online lecture on connecting the dots by an eminent, enthusiastic, and an energetic speaker of the day, Dr. Vidyaa Iyer. Participation in online deliberations and discussions has become an inevitable routines of the faculty during this COVID-19 pandemic. And today's webinar has been arranged to improve the online teaching skills of the veterinary faculty. I sincerely welcome our beloved Dean, Dr. T. Sivkumar sir, to preside over this event, and I take this opportunity to thank our beloved Dean on behalf of all teaching faculty for permitting to organize this mega event. The speaker of the day, Dr. Vidyaa Iyer, is a multi-talented personality, and her passion towards pet animal has been instrumental in organizing this particular event. Dr. Vidyaa had completed her Bachelor of Dental Surgery in 1995 and is a diplomate of American Academy of Implant Dentistry and diplomate in neuromuscular orthodontics and gnatology. Dr. Vidyaa is a passionate psychotherapist and a counselor, an entrepreneur, social activist working on women welfare, an artist, a dancer, a classical singer, apart from adventure lover. Dr. Vidyaa is currently serving as Director of Smile Dental Clinic, Chennai. I, on behalf of all faculty, wholeheartedly welcome the speaker of the day, Dr. Vidyaa Madam. Welcome you, Madam, with immense sense of gratitude. I welcome all senior faculty and my professional colleagues with due respect for this event. Thank you, one and all. Now I request our beloved Dean, Dr. T. Sivkumar sir, to offer his inaugural address.
Thank you, Dr. Sandil. A very warm good afternoon to one and all, and a very warm welcome to Dr. Vidyaa as rightly pointed out by our dear friend Sandil, a real multi-talented personality. One would, we love to read the biodata or resume as vastly read by Dr. Sandil. It's actually, I would say that, honestly speaking, how to teach online. This is, I think, none of us know. Of course, we have been teaching since 1 year, since last March 2020. So we have been gathering whatever knowledge we have, and then we are trying to put across many things, technology, then the platform, then the connectivity, then different kind of platform, then safety issues. Several things are there. Of course, we are a very novice in that, ma'am. We only look after the animal and our job ends with that. And you need to teach us. In fact, I would also say that it is important from one more angle. Like veterinarians, basically, when we are teaching the BVSC or MBSC, we only teach them the technical skills. We never teach them the teaching skills which are basically required to become a good teacher. In fact, a couple of years back, our former Vice Chancellor, when Dr. Prabhakaran, Dr. Sangaraj was there, they have devised this sort of induction program to the newly recruited assistant professors for about 3 to 4 weeks, how to teach, what is pedagogy, what is teaching skills, what are the different platforms available, how to make best use of them, even how to prepare a slide in a PowerPoint, and what kind of how many lines should be there, what should be the color combination, so on and so forth. So, but of course, that opportunity was there only for about 150 odd teachers for about 7 batches. And I think we have discontinued with that. And then this is very much required, ma'am. This is very much required for our technical people to engage in teaching business. Of course, we are all very good in technical skills, how to treat, and then so on and so forth, but not really to transform the knowledge we have across the table to the student community. So thank you for Senthil in choosing the right person and the right topic at the right time. And without taking much time, I request Dr. Hari to take over the platform and then teach us the teaching online. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for those kind words. Can I take the proceedings forward, or?
Yes, ma'am. Kindly take.
Okay, so good afternoon, first of all, to one and all present here. Respected Dean, it's indeed a pleasure to hear such nice words from you, sir. Thank you so much. I understand that all of you are maybe even my senior, in I guess whether it is in profession or by age, but I guess this is just to share what little I have understood. I have been in the teaching industry for the last 26 plus years. And today what I'm going to put forth is how I have evolved as a teacher, and probably, give you how we can all be successful together. So thank you so much, Dr. Senthil Kumar sir from Tanuvas. I guess this friendship started growing when I had given a lecture for the veterinary, IDP program of Tanuvas. And I think Dr. Senthil was a part of my the recent program, which was held in June. And I had done a complete series of stress neutralization programs from February, March for Tanuvas. This extension of friendship has just led to this lecture. And I have known Tanuvas for the last 14 plus years. That's thanks to Dr. Shankaran from the Madras Veterinary College. And I guess all of you might even know Dr. Edwin, who has been a senior person in terms of genetics, again in veterinary college. So I have been associated with Tanuvas for over 14 years, and I used to come as a partner in camps. We used to have a dental camp along with the veterinary camp, and we have traveled a lot of places together. And in addition to that, I have come to the veterinary college itself and done a dental camp also. So I guess it's a more of a symbiotic relationship, a kind of a friendship, a camaraderie which has grown. And thank you so much, Senthil Kumar sir, for this opportunity. I guess that lecture of mine was very impressive, and many people, I don't know your names, all of you. I don't associate the name and the face together, but I know I had a lovely feedback from a lot of people here. And before even I start my presentation, I want to tell a very big thanks because as Mark Twain said, appreciation is what keeps us all going, right? Child cries for it and a man dies for it. And one appreciation is enough for a person to go on for at least 2 months, which means only 6 appreciation is enough for a year. And I think I've got a lot even before I started the session today. So thank you. And welcome to another amazing session today. And we have named it Connecting the Dots. And I will tell you why. And I will start sharing my presentation from here onwards. So are you all able to see my screen right now?
Yes, madam.
Okay. So that is what I was trying to say. We are going to, start with a topic called Connecting the Dots. And I would like to thank Tamil Nadu Veterinary and Animal Science University, Veterinary College and Research Institute, Tanjavur, and its esteemed Dean, Dr. T. Shivakumar. And definitely my dear friend Dr. Senthil Kumar also for giving me this wonderful opportunity, and all the delegates who have joined here today to be a part of this presentation. So without further ado, let me start with the topic. and I'm going to take you through a basic, a webinar on improving online teaching skills. So let's take a little down the memory lane. So probably about 15, 16 months back, we were all very comfortable with a offline kind of a teaching, right? What do we mean by offline? We are addressing a set of students, and there are so many of them in front of us. We see their face, we see their reaction. If we feel that they are not attentive, we will talk to them, and then we'll get back to the subject. But this online teaching totally became different. Why do I say that? It is because there is a laptop in front of you, and you have a small camera on the laptop, and through that camera is what people are going to see you. So literally, if you look at things, it will look like you're talking to the walls, or just the laptop, and at the you are just hoping and praying that the other side people are listening. Now, how do you know that they are listening? So if you want to get the best out of today's presentation, I will encourage all of you to keep your videos on and audios off. So that is the first thing which we need to do for any online teaching or learning, webinar. Why do I say so? The moment you switch off your video, that means you're doing something else and not 100% into the lecture. That's the first thing. Second thing is to get the best out of the presentation, like how we used to sit in the classroom and listen. We used to have a notebook, a pen, and we used to look at the teacher's eye. As the teacher used to move right or left, we used to move our head accordingly. So that meant that eye contact, and along with the eye contact, we used to have a connect with the speaker. So that holds good here also. So I would encourage at this point of time, all the people attending this program, if you want to get the best out of this presentation, to switch on your video, switch off your audio, have a book and a pen. Maybe this presentation might give you a lot of information, much more than what you already know. See, I know I'm talking to a set of teachers who are there in the field for a longer period of time. But I will tell you that I was working in a college called Ragas, which is a dental college, and I worked there till 2005. So now when you connect 2005 and today, it is almost around 16 years since I stopped teaching. But did I really stop? That's the question. So what happened after that? After I taught for around 11, 12 years in the college, I decided to take a break, and but my passion for teaching was very high. So I said I will serve, but I will serve probably as a part-time teacher. So for a part-time teacher to be called again and again, we used to have something called a feedback form. I'm sure today that the feedback form is there, but I'm talking about 16 years back, right? So that time we used to have a feedback form, and in that feedback form, what they had to do was they had to write how they rated our work, which means we are getting judged for a change, right? Usually as a teacher, you will judge the students, or you will correct, or you will mark, or whatever it is, you will do it for the students. But here is what it was, a role reversal. So we used to have the students rate the teacher, and that is when the teacher or the speaker can come back again to deliver the next lecture. So that is the time when I realized there are so many other things which we need to know. As what Professor Sivakumar sir had said, see, we are all doctors. We have learned a particular science, and we have come up into our field. But how do you progress in your field? That is the first question. What does the progression mean? After you finish your basics, you might want to do an advanced study, or you might get into academics, or you want to start a practice, or you want to get into another NGOs where you can serve as a veterinary science, or for us as a dentist. So these are the options available. Now we have to choose what option we want. So are we getting groomed to fit into that? The answer is a no. Our basic understanding is only the science or the core subjects. But what we need to learn is something called soft skills and personal skills. So soft skills means skills which would help you connect. So there is a beautiful book, and I'm just telling you the name of the book right now. You can take it down and probably read through that book. It's a book by John C. Maxwell. It is called Everybody Communicates, but Few Connect. Everybody communicates, but few connect. Now, what does that mean? Everybody will speak, but only few people, when they speak, you want to listen, or you have listened and you want to follow, and you want to make a change in your presentation. So that is what I kept feeling. So when I started, I finished my dentistry. I also got imbibed in a college, and when my lectures used to come, I used to see that all my students used to be in pin drop silence. Second, there used to be no absentees in my class. So this gave me a lot of encouragement. I'm talking this around 26 years back. So then I started finding out what is it in me that is, I'm getting appreciated for that. So towards today's end of the lecture, I'm sure all of you will understand that crux what I'm trying to say. And then to become a academician or a research person or a clinician, all that is just the various other facets of the same person. So a good speech should be like a woman's skirt, long enough to cover the subject and short enough to create the interest. That's what Winston Churchill said. So any presentation for that matter should be so good enough that it creates a kind of a curiosity for the audience to sit and listen. So what are the steps in preparing a presentation? So you have 6 steps. First is, what are you trying to do with a presentation? So that should be your goal. Second is, what's going around you? What are the issues that is coming in your mind? And how do you start preparing a presentation? Third is to understand your audience. Who is your audience? What do they want? All that. Next is the mindset. What do they think now? So always we say practicing mindfulness. So you have to be present at that moment, and you should understand what we are thinking right now. And what are you going to say? What is the message which is going to get conveyed? And last but not the least, what are you going to do with the message, or what is your action plan after this? So in fact, when Dr. Sendil said, ma'am, we need a topic of how to present, because he said all of us are presenting, but your presentation was a little different. And he asked me, how do you present? So I said, sure, sir. And I had a half-an-hour conversation with Dr. Sendil. And then he said, ma'am, whatever you're saying, even though we know it, we have not looked into the way you are looking into. So he gave a topic. He said how to make a presentation, something like that. That was the topic first. I said, sir, give me few hours time. I'm with a patient. I will get back with a topic. And that is how I said connecting the dots. I'm sure by even the topic name, you want to know what is it and how do you connect the dots, right? So I'm sure most of you who are sitting here might be giving lectures, have given lectures, and have a great, a kind of a career graph with your profession. Nevertheless, whenever you select a topic, always see that the topic says something but does not say it all. So connecting the dots is exactly that. All of us have some points in whatever I'm presenting, but only when we connect all the dots will you get a picture, a figure. We have done all this when we were small children, right? We used to have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we used to connect all of that, and then suddenly it will turn out to be a horse or a house or something like that when you're trying to teach your children how to draw or visualize. So how do you select a topic? First, you should think about what is the topic you want to know or want to deliver for this presentation. Second is, what are the topics you love in discussing? And third is, what is the topic which your audience cares about? So that is how you choose a topic. So today's topic, connecting the dots, is definitely as to how the audience, as to this August gathering who are a part of this seminar, are even listening to. Next, how do you design a topic? So you should have some kind of a criteria when you understand the base of what you're going to speak, and then you should have a brainstorm. A brainstorm would be to give you a gush of ideas, which is a little different than what a common man will think. It should be something to do with lateral thinking. That is very important, because I always, listen or read to a lot of people who have made an impact in today's society. So one such person is Warren Buffett. I'm sure all of you know who Warren Buffett is. So once, when there was a conversation between, Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, so Bill Gates said, "Can I look at your diary?" So Warren Buffett gave his diary to Bill Gates, and Bill Gates started turning the diary. So usually for a person who is so rich, so accomplished, so successful, an entrepreneur, what do you expect the diary to have? I'm sure all of you must be thinking, no, from top to bottom, the diary must be filled with appointments and assignments and things like that. But fortunately or unfortunately, Bill Gates, as he went through the diary, hardly 3-4 pages were filled with appointments. So this made Bill Gates a lot perplexed, and he was thinking, how can that be, right? And he said, okay, and he asked Warren Buffett, he said, how come, sir, your appointment book is almost, not filled the way I thought it should be? For that, Warren Buffett said that, when you see my diary, I give a lot of time to thinking. So a person who thinks actually is able to produce better. Abraham Lincoln once said, if I have 6 hours to cut down a tree, I will, sharpen my knife or my blade for 4 hours, which means 4 hours goes in planning and only 2 hours goes in the job, which happens to cut the tree. Swami Vivekananda has said, if you fail to talk to yourself at least 1 hour in a day, you're failing to meet the most important person in your entire life. That is you. So this brain of ours gives us a lot of ideas, and we need to have an idea book. And in that, we should be able to envision ourselves and write down whatever is brainstorming into our brain. So it could be from selecting a topic for a subject or a presentation, or even how to go ahead with your life. You can start doing that. Next, there must be some kind of a personal interest which you have in whatever you're delivering. Now, if you don't have that interest, that passion, the work will not be reaching the audience. Then you need to select what you want to convey in that time and refine and re-refine it, so that when you put across your thoughts, it just goes into that person's mind. And that is very important. So you have to design your content, then you have to keep a written aspect of your content as what your audience wants to hear, and it should be very relevant. You should have a story, if you can say. I'm sure when I start, I always start with some story. And I started with a story even today. So when you say a story, the audience actually starts relating to, because all of us love listening to stories. I'm sure when you think about your childhood, how you were fed, maybe by your mother or grandmother, they used to tell us so many stories. And we never used to know how much we ate also, right? Because we used to just keep listening to that stories and envisioning and visualizing the entire story in front of us. So storytelling is supposed to be very important. Along with that, you can have a little bit of humor. Now, this humor could be on your presentation. You can throw a joke here and there. That is just to lighten the entire atmosphere of that room. So let us define the objective of the presentation. So today's objective, if you look at it, is definitely to help you all understand how to make a presentation. So when I generally say an objective, it means what is going to be our basis of discussion. And the way you put your basic concepts and ideas, or even spark or give us kind of an interesting twist to what you're going to say, should be the basic objective of your presentation. So when you are presenting a topic to your students, see the same topic how another person would present, and how do you want to present it with a twist, with a little difference. Now that becomes how you define the objective. Next is to prepare the content. So how do you prepare a content? First of all is 10% what the students will hear. 20% is what they will go back and read again. But 80% is what they see and what they do. So 80% is actually in the action part. Now, when you structure a presentation with the audience in the mind, always start with the level at which the audience knows it. Now, suppose I'm going to take a topic for a first year student, as against the same topic I'm going to take for a final year student. I know when I talk to the first year students, I have to go from the base level. With the final year student, I might at least understand that they might have a basic knowledge and I can just go from the level where they know. So you can probably, start with asking some questions to the audience to understand like how the audience knows about the subject. So when you talk about a presentation, or when you show a slide and when you're talking on that slide, you can go either from the base level or you can go ahead with the higher level depending on the answers you have got with your students, even if it is a final year. Next is definitely to rehearse with technology. See, all of us have not been born and brought up with a laptop. Okay, I'm sure who all are in this room, if you are above 45, I'm sure you are all people who never had computer science as a subject when you did your schooling, right? Maybe you got into laptops or computers or presentations or Excel sheets and Word documents and all these only because your work probably, it persuaded you to learn that technology. So when you have to prepare presentations or when you have to work with these kind of online platforms, you might have to rehearse with the technology. It is better to arrive on the dot or early. I prefer arriving on the dot. I'll tell you the reason. Even though I'm sitting in front of my laptop, maybe even 10 minutes earlier, see, I have been organizing a lot of events. So when I organize, I know on the organizational front, they'll be thinking, oh, this person has not come. What do you do? They want to do some technical checks. So that is why when I come for a presentation, I come on the dot because I want to give those people, the organizers, some kind of a time leeway where they have time to interact amongst their friends because everything is online right now, right? So that is, again, a way of looking at things. Now, it might differ from people. I prefer it that way. Next is add a call to action or CTA as what we say. What do you mean by call to action? It means like when you do a presentation, at the end of the presentation, you always give some kind of a homework to the delegates who have joined in, because otherwise it will be like you have listened and then it has just gone, even if you're not writing notes. It might be that you have remembered certain things today, but after 2 days or after 10 days, you might just say, oh, that presentation was nice, but what did you learn out of it? Nothing, because you've not made a note. So generally, when I attend presentations, I always have a notebook and a pen, and I jot down the points. I might not write everything what is written in the presentation, but there might be some pointers or nuggets which I feel is very important, which I might want to incorporate into my presentations later in life. Next, be very realistic about public speaking nerves. This is very important. See, many a times when I attend presentations, I always feel that the speaker is not comfortable in the language they are speaking, even if it is English. So I feel that sometimes they put up an accent and speak, or they're not comfortable. It's not their natural tone or voice or whatever it can be. So we need to have a very kind of a natural way or a very realistic way of looking at people. I generally give an example of a bride. So whenever you see a picture of a bride and the groom in the wedding album, you will think this person and the person in the picture is not the same, right? Because so much of makeover done that you forget who the real person is. Whenever you look at these YouTube videos also, you would be understanding certain makeovers is so dramatic that once they remove the makeover and they show, you are wondering, oh my God, where she started and where she is gone, right? So similarly, even when you prepare your content, that should look very natural. It should not look totally different or totally outside of what you are thinking. Next is preparing the body of the presentation. A body is the major part of the presentation. That's the main part. So your crux or your core is on the body. So the body can have anything like, say, from a problem to a solution, or it could be a kind of, from like history, you can go from back to forward, and it could be some problem and now a future solution to that issue. So the body could mean anything. See, whenever we prepare a presentation, like for example, when I do it on, say, lasers, I am using the word called lasers because we use it in veterinary science also. You do something called LLLT or low level laser therapy, right? I am a specialist in lasers. So imagine you're taking your dog or some pet animal is not well, and you want to give some kind of a physiotherapeutic kind of a massage there. So you all must be using lasers and giving them a kind of a LLLT or low level laser therapy. So when I had gone to Genova, I had gone to University of Genova, Italy, to do my fellowship in laser dentistry. So we had a one-day full lecture by a doctor called Dr. Benedicenti. And he has done a lot of research on veterinary science, and he's a veterinary doctor. And he showed all his cases. What he did is use this LLLT on dogs and a lot of animals. So even though I did not know way back in 2011-12 that after some 10 years I am going to do a presentation for a veterinary college, but it is always nice to listen to some problem solving, so that later in life you don't know where it would come and help you. So it is always better to learn or understand various aspects of the subject. And then it is like how you want to explain your topic and where are you getting all the information and how are you trying to present it. And of course, the organization of that body is very important, because the audience needs to understand it like a story. Unless you speak it like a story, it will not be very clear. Many a times, I'm sure if all of you must have watched that movie called Alaipayude, right? So in that movie, if you see, it was a lot of back and forth. First, they will show some accident, and then they will show 1 year before, and then they will show again today's, and then they will show again thing. So for a person who has missed the first, say, 10 minutes of the movie, they won't understand anything. And only for the person who sat till the end, the last moment when the heroine tells the hero, I love you. Till that moment, they will not understand why is she saying I love you after the marriage and after this accident. They won't know. Because all throughout the movie, he keeps telling, I love you, and she's never said, I love you to him. So until and unless you are there from the beginning till the end, you will not understand the entire story. So whenever you prepare a presentation, it should be like a story where from the start to the end, the audience should be gripped, so that you don't want to miss out any scenes, you don't want to miss out any part. It is like a complete stimulation of the entire storyline in front of you. So that is very important. Next, how do you prepare the introduction and how do you conclude? So to prepare an introduction, you should definitely have the audience's attention. You should stay focused on the topic, and you should, as you conclude, you should summarize the key points. You should echo the core message. So whatever is the core of the topic you have presented, you should keep talking about it. And you should use a powerful quote. A powerful quote should not be a misnomer there. It should be something which really goes and fits there. Then ask a rhetorical question. Now, what does that mean? A question which invigorates people's thinking process. So they think, oh, okay, so how should I handle this? So something like that you should invigorate for them to go out with a thought of lateral thinking. Acknowledge others. If you know some people in the audience, acknowledge them. And finally, include your statement. What is your concluding statement? So when you conclude the presentation, it should be like bits and pieces of the puzzle put together. And now you see the entire, the storyline or the entire picture in totality. So 7 ways to start a presentation is: start a story, have a rhetorical, thought-provoking question, start with a statement or a headline, use a powerful quote, show a gripping photo, use a prop or a creative visual aid, and play a short video. So when you start, you should start strongly. So as Robin Sharma said, what makes a champion is not how elegantly you start, but how strongly you finish also. So from start to finish, you should have that kind of a punch there. So generally start with an addressing statement like good morning or good afternoon, good evening, whatever it could be, you can say. Introduce yourself, and of course speak a little about how you got into this presentation. So that's exactly what I did. And also as to what is the objective of today's presentation. I'm sure you're going to tell that it is to have a number of attentive students in your lectures from today. So that is what your main crux of today's presentation is. So I'm sure, all these are running in your mind. But if I had said the same thing, imagine in a very fast way, in a monotone, and none of these words or phrases would have had any life onto them. So let me speak that to you. Good afternoon. I am Dr. Vidyaa Hari Iyer. I am a director of Dr. Vidyaa Smile Dental Clinic. I am a psychotherapist and a counselor. I am delighted to speak to you this afternoon. There is a change, right? So until and unless you give life to your words, it is not going to sound fine. It's very important that we use a proper tone. So voice modulation, some kind of mono acting, moving your hands, eyes, all that is very important, especially when you're in an online work. And wouldn't that make you an exciting speaker? Correct? So you should always start with the punch. Now this punch, I could have used that same punch in that previous slide. I could have used it either in the front or at the back. Now, it is very important how you put your images also in your presentation. It is not like you just take an image and you put it on the presentation. So which of this image is actually right? Is it the right or the left? I know I'm not able to see you all right now, but I'm going to tell you this is the right way. Why? Because you see the hand, it is punching the other side. If I had put it on the way it is in the front, that means there's nobody to punch there, correct? So that punch dialogue or whatever it is, you should see the angulation of the image. Now, even let me go few slides back just to help you understand how today's presentation or how this, what should I say, brochure is made. Look at the way I am sitting. I am facing on the other side, and the side where am I facing is where a note about me is there. Whereas Professor Shivakumar sir, he has a straight profile. So his picture can be put front, side, back, anywhere. But that is all what is important. Even when you prepare a brochure, then imagine when you prepare a presentation, how it should be, correct? So this is something which probably people don't take it very seriously. But for a person like me, I look into all these small kind of nuances, because that is what will make your presentation a punched presentation. Next is grooming for success. I can go on and on and on and on this particular topic. You must be wondering why this slide has no pictures, because this topic itself, I can go on for more than an hour. So I'm going to make it very short right now. How do you groom? So I'm sure when all of us started doing online classes, you would have seen a lot of videos, pun intended videos. A person wearing a night dress and just wearing a dupatta and in front of a classroom, or they are just dressed up till the top and bottom they are not bothered. I mean, that is not how you groom for success. When you groom for success, you have to be dressed from head to toe. You must wear whatever dress you're wearing, whichever is comfortable for you. Second, you should accessorize yourself properly. You should be neatly dressed. You should always put in a smile on your face, and it should be very pleasant looking. I'm sure all of us want to have a pleasant teacher or a pleasant, speaker on our podium, right? And how do you know that they are pleasant? When you put a smile, immediately, that is the first ornament you can wear. Second is being approachable, being soft, at the same time stern. Many of my students tell me that, ma'am, you're so friendly, but they know I will never spare them. If they are doing a wrong thing, they will get it also from me. So there is respect. At the same time, they know they can play along with me also, because I'm a most fun-loving person. As Dr. Sendil said, I'm into all kind of extracurricular activities even now. I don't know how many people on the other side of this Zoom or a Google Meet do what all I do at my age or my kind. I'm closing 50, and even still I dance, I sing, I do everything. So my students know, oh, ma'am, she does everything. So this is exactly how they would identify. So they know even if it's fun time, they can come. But when it is subject and topic also, they know they have to, behave properly, whether when they are in an online class. So this gives you a kind of an approachable kind of a title. That's very important. So, and then of course, the way you would want to look at the audience. So I told you, you have a camera in front. So look into the camera and look into their eyes, and if they have switched on the cameras, it will be like you are looking into their eyes. Next is good lighting. Now this Dr. Sendil wanted me to talk in length, so I will be talking. So you have a fluorescent light which can have a cold and a flat skin tone, which you don't want. You want a good lighting. So you should have a light in front of you so that that light will hit on your face and the shadow falls back. Now the same thing, if I had turned my back and done, the shadow of the lighting would fall on me and I would look as a dark image in front of you. So if your tube light is at the back of your head, all you need to do is turn yourself and sit in a place where the tube light is on your face so that you are seen very brightly. This is the first important thing. Next is you can have LED ring light. You can get this on the Amazon and in any other platform, which you can attach it on your laptop, or you can have it in the front with a stand. So that would give a bicolor or a ring effect, which will give a kind of a studio-like effect, which is also very good. So you can have various lightings. You can have pendant lights, which is falling on your head. You can have reassessed lights, 2 or 3 lights. You can have wall-mounted lights, natural lighting lights, or a study table lamp or a floor lamp. And all these you can have it for having a good lighting so that your face is very visible as you speak. Next is proper sitting posture. So always see that your shoulders are relaxed and your back is supported and your arms are also supported. Your thigh is horizontal to the floor and keep your feet flat on the floor and have this. Now, I'm sure you all must be thinking, because see, with those online classes, at least for me, I will tell you, pre-lockdown and post-lockdown. Pre-lockdown, my spending time with my laptop or my mobile was only 1 hour a day. Half an hour in the morning, half an hour in the night. Between, I never used to check even my WhatsApp or anything of that sort. But last 15 months, it has been only maybe 1 hour I'm not with the laptop or my cell phone. Otherwise, throughout we are here only. So this change truly brought a lot of changes in all us, right? So we need to understand that our eye level is at the level of the camera, our shoulders are straight. And sometimes I also teach some back exercises so that, even though we are sitting for longer periods of time, we have a good posture so that we don't have any postural, a kind of ergonomical problems, right? We say occupational hazards. So we don't want to have any occupational hazards. Usually people complain of a back pain, especially when they are in the software industry. But today all of us have become software engineers, right? We are all with the laptop only. So what are the do's of presenting? Practice makes it perfect. So keep speaking it, practice, speak what you want and, speak it in n number of times, introduce yourself, have an eye contact, use props if it's necessary, and keep asking questions. Next is to have a good connection. So right now you could use either a Wi-Fi or an Ethernet cable, and this could be 5G, the 5GB network or these kind of a network where you can have a clear connection. You can have a good microphone. Dr. Sendel asked me, ma'am, we are not seeing you with any kind of a phone or a microphone, even when you're giving your videos, but your voice is so clear and, your throw of words are so clear. How is it? And it is just with practice. So you should have a good mic, and I don't use anything extra. Whatever mic is there on my laptop or on my cell phone is what I use. I don't use anything else. And a camera, definitely keep it at an eye level, and you have many cameras related to that, and have as much natural light or soft artificial so that you can have a good throw of light on your face. Have a very simple background. Clean and simple is better. Nothing which moves at the background or which supports your brand. I don't like this plain backgrounds where you move a little also you will see hazy images. I prefer to show what I have. That is the much more better, way of having a background, and have less distractions on the back. This is very important. Keep your phone on silent and see that no distractions are there, no pets are around, and as much as possible have a quiet atmosphere in the room where you are presenting. Next is you need to analyze your audience. So in this case, I knew what my target audience is. I knew I'm going to teach or I'm going to present it to the presenters who are already teaching to their students. So it is not about knowledge which I'm going to share here. It is not about, the content of what you are going to speak, I'm going to share, but I'm going to share some bit of attitude. So as I told you, your attitude is something which comes with dressing. Imagine if you have dressed very simple and others have dressed very nicely. Immediately you will feel a kind of, your self-image getting low. So always dress one notch up when you are the speaker, because that one notch up will make you feel confident about yourself. Next is having a self-image. A self-image is not what you look at yourself in the mirror and see. It is also about how others perceive what you are. So with that kind of a respect what they have in you, maintain that respect. Now I know I'm talking to South Indian people. So whenever I go abroad or even when I go North India to speak, I prefer wearing a sari. Okay. Whereas sometimes my counterparts, they wear a Western dress and all. I wear Western clothes. Okay. I wear all kinds of clothes. I am not against anything. But when you want to demand respect from an opposite gender, it is always better to be comfortable in the clothes you wear. So I am very comfortable in a sari and I would like to present myself in a sari only. So wherever, even when I go abroad and give any international presentations also, I only wear a sari. Sometimes I wear so traditional a sari, and most of the people after my presentations, they want to come and click a picture with me because I am in a traditional sari. So, I feel very proud to showcase my India or my nationality or my place of origin. And I feel there must be no kind of deceiving thoughts in that. That is self-image. Next is, you can take some amount of risks whenever you want to target your audience also. Now, what are those risks if you ask? In case you're talking about some latest technology or some subject where not much of research is done, you are also reading on it and you are also presenting it to the team, you can always tell them this is under research and we are open for discussion. So those can be perceived risk areas. You could go with the normal norms. Self-efficacy is very important, especially when you are talking about your strength and weaknesses. We call it the SWOT principle: your strength, your weakness, your opportunity, and your threat. So understand your, your strength. So maybe my strength is something else and your strength is something else. But then if I know what my strengths are, I can work more on them and I can hone my weakness. That is also important. Next is being emotional. Now imagine a newsreader and imagine a presenter. So imagine a newsreader reading a kind of a scripted written thing. So if they are going to say, earthquake came in Iraq and 500 people died, how does that sound to you? It sounds quite absurd, right? You don't want the newsreader to give you some kind of emotions there. But for a presenter, imagine if I said, there was an earthquake in Iraq and 500 people died. There is no emotions. So you should know where to show your emotions, and that should come naturally to you. It should not be something like you're acting it out. It should be a part of your natural way of conversation. So when people see you in reality, they know, oh, this is the same person. So that is very important. Next is social support and influence and personal advocacy. So again, this is to know the audience and understand the audience and how you can connect with the audience. Next is focusing on the audience's need. What do they want to hear? And what do they need to hear? And what is entertaining? So what do they want to hear and what do they need to hear? Now let us look into both these first. So let's take, for example, Janaki Amma. I'm sure most of you must be enjoying music, right? And how many of you have seen Janaki Amma on stage singing? She's one of the most versatile singers we all know, right? She can sing like a small child. She can sing some raunchy song. She can sing a very bhakti song. She can sing anything she wants, right? But she will not move. And looking at her and the way she has groomed herself, nobody will say she's the person who's singing so many genres of music, right? But imagine a singer today. They have to be on stage. They have to dance. They have to sing. They have to look good. So today, people need a performer, just not a singer. Correct? But they have respect for those generation of singers too. So this is exactly what you should know about your audience, what they want to hear and what they need to hear. So be very mindful of what you're saying, use images appropriately and represent bullets in a graphical form, honor the audience, use alternatives to lecturing, connect the dots for people, learn the art of questioning. Don't use the slides as your speaking notes. Okay? Next, show your passion and connect with the audience. So passion is something which the opposite person will know within 5 minutes of you opening your mouth. If you speak with very low energy, nobody is going to connect with you. But when you speak and you're able to light up the room, then people know you're passionate. And you can be passionate about anything. I'm sure you would have seen that movie called Vasool Raja MBBS, where that person who's sweeping the floor is very passionate about sweeping the floor. That is how we should be, how passionate we are in what we are doing. And when you do that with passion, and when somebody appreciates you, you will do it much better. Go back home today and tell your wife that, you've kept the house very neatly. The food she's cooked today is so tasty. Tomorrow when you go back home, she would have cooked the dinner much better and she would have put so much more of love, which is a rare ingredient which you will never get outside. So that is how you put passion. When you put love into the work you do, that turns into passion. And connect with your audience. So your passion will show as you walk the talk of your daily existence. Be very animated, show your enthusiasm, gesture widely, smile, as I told you, that excitement, that shine in your eyes, the eye contact, your voice modulation, all of that will connect and respond to what you see. Many speakers, usually when I attend, are very self-focused. That means they don't care who the audience are. They go on talking what they want. And they end also, and the speaker and the audience won't know that they have ended also. So that will be a monotone kind of a conversation. And look at people, especially when you are doing a offline program, you look at people and talk, but look at them only till the point that they are not very uncomfortable with themselves. And refer to what they already know before you can put in more concepts into their brain. And always walk towards your audience. Don't be a very, stationary or static behind a podium. I generally don't talk behind a podium. I like to walk. I like to go front, and I like to, interact. I like to see them. So that is the way. And when will you do all that? Only when you're confident on your topic. So once you practice, you will get that and compliment the audience. Next is keep it very simple. We say use the KISS principle. Keep it simple and sweet, or keep it short and simple, however you want to say. Be very minimalistic, and you can ask questions, you can speak things and create small habits for a change instead of big ones. And if we don't do this at all, what would happen? All these kind of questions you can ask. And best code is no code at all. So be very easy. Hard choices are very easy. Okay, so just relax in that and ask why at least 5 times and fix the cause instead of fixing the symptoms itself. And smile and make eye contact. I think I've told enough on this. When you smile, you actually shrink the room. You bring the audience close to yourself, and you keep them at a very close, apt level of involvement in the lecture. So your smile is your logo, your personality is your business card, your presentation is your product, and the impression you leave on the people you encounter is your brand. So this is so very important. And use your voice very effectively. You can have energy, enthusiasm, increase and decrease your volume, pitch your volume properly, have a proper pace, and pause whenever necessary. So that is when you will know that you're giving life to what you're speaking. And see or rehear your voice. Sometimes you can do a voice recording and listen to your voice to see how people are hearing your voice. And in between, you might have to breathe. So you can breathe in and speak with enthusiasm and project your voice in such a way that it is effectively heard. And use the pace, vary them, vary the pitch, and vary the volume also. And articulate your words. Whatever words you're speaking, you articulate them. And have a pause whenever you think it is very important. And this all goes ahead with body language, because what you say is only 7%, but how you sound or your tone is 38%, and how you look and how you groom is 55%. So that's what I told you. If I have to take a class on grooming, I can go 1 hour on that itself. Remember this 10-20-30 rule: 10 slides, 20 minutes, and 30 font size. So it's easy for people to look and understand. And tell stories. Storytelling is a art. Like I started with a story. Stories basically engage the audience. They evoke empathy, increase trust, and motivate people. And you can become a biggest storyteller wherein people will start relating to what you're trying to say. So what are the 4 keys that will help your audience follow along and remember your presentation? It is your content, know your audience, have a structure, and be very consistent. And the rule of 3 is breaking your slides into a compelling structure, keeping it simple, and engaging your audience. And for a successful presenter, you should follow the 3 P's: prepare, practice, and present. So a good speech is like a pencil. You should have a point, and that is how it will make you a good speaker. 5 rules for successful presentations is to know your audience, to be clever with content and mindful of the time, design your presentation, get feedback, and practice, practice, and practice. So these were the elements of any good presentation: knowing your audience, covering the information, getting their attention, practicing it, skipping the background information, using the formula, use a conversational tone, keep your audience awake, and leave them with the next steps. So an impactful presenter will open with an impact, arouse curiosity, empathize, show a solution, emphasize the benefits, stay focused, be very charismatic, engage the audience, make it memorable, and also close with an impact. And the qualities of an effective presenter is how they are in an appearance, their attitude, good eye contact, confident manner, interesting voice, the knowledge they have, the enthusiasm, and how they understand the audience. So now you think, what was the best and the worst presentations you have seen or heard or done, and write down the good points and write down the bad points, and start following the good points and start consciously avoiding the bad points so that you make your presentations better. As Carmine Gallo said, successful presentations are understandable, memorable, and emotional. That's how you will receive a good response to all your presentations. So you know you've got a good presentation when a number of people in the room at the end of the talk is the same at the beginning, correct? And you just feel, yes, you did it. And the audience members do not divert the eyes when you approach, and you still get compliments even the next day, and you get a hug from someone you've never met before. So that is meaning that you have done a good presentation. In order to inspire people, that's going to have to come from somewhere which is very deep inside you. That's what Jeff Weiner said. And with that, you can nail your presentations every time you present henceforth. Thank you so much for this opportunity, Dr. Sendil and Dr. Shivakumar and all those delegates who have assembled here. This is my number, 98401 76088. My name is Dr. Vidyaa Iyer. And thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm open to questions at this point of time.
Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon, sir.
Your presentation is very nice, madam. Excellent presentation, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir.
Both you have covered both the online and offline lectures for the classroom delivery. It was fantastic. Thank you, madam.
Thank you so much. Any questions anybody has, I would be, addressing those questions. And one more thing, if you want to understand in terms of the camera, can you see my camera right now? As against to my camera now, as against to my camera now, correct? So always see that your camera is in such a way that you have some amount of, your head and beyond your head seen, and your face is at the same level and your neck is not extended. So that will give you a kind of a good view. So always see your camera is just enough so that your eye and your thing is right. Yes.
Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, this is Dr. Balakrishnan.
Hello, sir.
From BCRA Varthanadu. So, okay, madam, this is a very nice presentation. But in the case of online classes, no. So whatever we present, whatever we prepare, whatever we put time for making the presentation very impressive, there are so many other reasons from other sides. That means from student sides. And we get very low presenters. That means low attendees. So their side, they have a lot of reasons. Some network problems, and since they are all students, they go for some other games and they are not attentive. And do you have any impressive methods for this kind of problems?
Sure, sir. There is a question from Dr. Guru Pandian asking me the title of the book which I said. So the title of the book is Everybody Communicates, Few Connect. That is by John C. Maxwell. And definitely I will answer sir's question right now. So the question is from the attendees side, that is from the opposite side.
Yes.
How can we have them in apt attention so that they will attend sessions, right?
Yes, madam.
It is like what we say, in our times, we used to have something called internal marketing and external marketing, right? So what is internal marketing? Internal marketing is when I do a work and my patients will go out and they will spread the good word outside. And because of that, we get more patients inside our practice. Am I right or wrong? Correct? Now, this is
madam. Yes, madam, you are right.
This is called internal marketing. What is external marketing? I put big hoardings, big posters saying, oh, I am the best. Come to me. I am doing for 5 rupees treatment. Other person is doing for 10 rupees. I am giving discounts. Come. Now, this is called external marketing. Now, which will work. Maybe in the beginning, external marketing might work, but ultimately only internal marketing works. So even if I have one student in my lecture, correct? I have only one student in my lecture. Still, I will see that my presentation is best for that one student. So that student, when he will have a circle of influence, he will have at least 5 friends of his, and he will know his friend has not come for the lecture. Correct?
Yes.
So he will call that friend and say, you know what? Today there was such a nice lecture. You missed. I was the only one there. And I felt I shouldn't have missed it. And I'm so happy that I didn't miss it. Now this person has told 5 people.
Yes.
So next time that 5 people will be thinking, should I keep the video on? Should I keep the video off? Should I attend? Should I not attend? Still that question will come. But then he will say, my friend said it's nice. I trust my friend, so I will go attend. So from 1, the next day your attendance will become 6. And imagine you put in your best presentation again. Because as a teacher, it is my job to deliver. Correct? So
Yes,
when
yes.
I deliver, and once that child or student understands, they will send in more and more and more people, and my presentations will be jam-packed. There is no way that my presentations will not have audience. I will tell you one small thing, sir.
Yes.
I am not an online person. I was not into Facebook or Insta or WhatsApp status also 1 year back. Okay? Today, if I put an image on my WhatsApp, including Dr. Senthil Kumar, who is sitting here, who sees that thing, I have around 500 to 600 people looking into my WhatsApp every single day. I don't have time to look into others, but people have time to look into mine. Okay? I put it because I have students all across the globe and they want to see. Second, I get excellent feedback, sir. I will be very honest with you. You can go and look into my Facebook, my Insta, and you will be able to see after every presentation, everyone applauds for my presentation. And it is being consistently. It is not a one presentation I got applauded, the next I didn't have. No, not like that. So, which means, like you said, you started your statement saying, even if we are making good presentations, the reciprocation from the students or the audience is not that much. I take 20 hours to do one presentation. 20 hours, one presentation. Because I look at the presentation from top, bottom, side, lateral, every angle. And I keep working on the presentation from the moment I get the brochure. So what else can I do? That is how you say, how much can you care? If I have to explain this, I'm sure you must be married and you must have children. So if your child is sick and if you have given a dolo for the child and the child is not responding, will you say, I'm not going to give any more medication? What will be your answer?
No, ma'am.
Increase the
Yeah,
dose of medication for the child. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, you are right.
So if my student is not listening, I will increase my love quotient for my student. That is why I said you should be an approachable teacher. Gone are those days when I can put myself in that in that thing. When I look at my teachers, I have reverence. I hold my hand in reverence. I speak to them in reverence. I don't stand next to them. Even if I am standing face to face with them, my hand is this way. That is how we are. But today's student, I can't do that or I can't expect that. Today's student wants them to look at us as a friend. I'm sure that's how children are also there at home. The way we were scared of our parents, my parents, I don't go and sit next to them and talk to them even today. If my mother and father are talking to each other in a room, I don't even enter that room. That is how we were taught. When our elders discuss, children should not come. I am no more a child, but for my parents, I'm still a child. So when they are discussing, we don't even enter the room. If they are discussing in the hall, we go into the room. But today's students are not like that. They will ask you, why are you saying this? Why are you talking here in front of me? What did I do? So you should be ready to answer all those questions patiently. That is the next thing. Patience is the only thing. Authority is not what we are asking today. And in online, that is what I have understood. Authority will never bring people close to you. Only approachability will help people come close to you. This book called Effective Communication, I told you the name. Everybody communicates, few connect. I started the presentation with that. Okay, I want you all to read that book. That time you will understand, your students will connect directly with you. Did I answer your question, sir?
Thank you very much, madam. Very excellent answer.
Thank you.
Definitely, whatever you told, it is true. Definitely. So this will be helpful for us also. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir. I'll just read out, some more questions are coming. I'll just read out. Thank you so much, sir. It's my pleasure to serve all of you. I'll just read the things. So, okay. I am not understanding the doctor's name because I think it's from the Department of Veterinary Parasitology.
Yes.
They have asked, how can we improve our natural voice? Any suggestion from you, madam? It was very nice presentation. Okay. So thank you, sir, madam, for that question. Many a times people have asked me, have I undergone any course for voice modulation? Or have I undergone any course for, speech therapy? So this is very important. What you can do is you can gargle your throat very nicely. Use salt water. That's the best way. Little warm water with salt and start gargling. And so you have a clear throat. That is first. Second, I don't know how many of you saw, I was drinking water in the beginning of when Dr. Sendil was introducing. I was drinking water. So have water next to you so that, your throat is very clean and you have enough amount of water or saliva in your throat. So that's the second. Third, whenever you communicate, there is always a kind of a physical mannerism. Now, it is very important for us to understand our mannerisms. These mannerisms will help us connect with people better, because that will give a kind of, the opposite person is not a plastic robot talking to us, correct? So when you talk, there must be some kind of a gesture and it should be very natural. So that is how when you do it, automatically your voice will change, sir. And when you practice this over a period of time, you will have a lot of voice modulation also. How to prepare attractive presentations to keep the students' attention always. This is from the Department of Veterinary Surgery and Radiology. I don't know anything about veterinary surgery, but I'll tell you because I am also a dental surgeon, right? So, how to make it attractive? Now, I'm sure as a veterinary surgeon, you must be doing a lot of surgeries. You might be having a lot of video recordings on that. And imagine instead of explaining a concept, show a video and help them understand the concept with that video. The video can be a montage video. Montage means the entire maybe 1 or 2 hour surgery can be compressed into a 1 minute montage video. And then you can create an interest in that student to say that, you know, our library has this entire video. Why don't you go and see the video for you to understand the step-by-step approach or the protocol followed in that surgery. I have physically offline visited the Tamil Nadu government veterinary college in Egmore. And there I have seen that they have a beautiful model, you know, for everything to deliver, how to, you know, I don't want to break this suspense. I think Dr. Shankaran will be there to explain a lot more about that. But I was fortunate enough to go into that animation room and see all that. So you have a wealth of knowledge and you have a wealth of resources. So all you need to do is combine both of them and use it when you project yourself. So whenever I do a technical program, whenever I do a technical course, like if I'm going to do in dentistry, then I will show a lot of my clinical, videos, what I take in my clinic, and I put it in my presentation. That will also keep the audience, you know, engrossed in the presentation. It will also help a lot of students who are not active listeners, who have a visual impact to learn. For example, I will just take, I'm sure all of us know SP Balasubramaniam sir, right? SPB sir has not learnt music. That means classical music is not learnt. And he used to say, I have learnt music because of Kelvi Jnanam, which means he used to hear and then he used to sing. Some people are very visually connected. So if I'm going to do a presentation or if I'm going to do anything, let us just take these 3 medias, for example. The first media which came into being was print media, correct? Newspapers, magazines, these were the one. Next, radio. So magazine is seeing, visual. Audio or radio is hearing. Then it became audio, visual, TV. Now you tell me, how many of us watch TV? How many of us listen to radio? How many of us read? I'm sure you would be saying, anybody who is less than 15, 16 years of age, they only like audio visual. YouTube, cell phone, television, that is what they like. You give them a book to read, they'll say it's boring. Right? How many of the students go and visit the library? So that is how it is. So how to prepare attractive presentations? Definitely audio visual, and keep some animations, put some videos, put something which is relevant and protocol based, so that when that student goes back home and takes the textbook and reads, whatever you have taught and what that person is reading will be adding on to the information which he has perceived inside his mind. So that will be the best way.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Any other questions? Any other questions? Otherwise,
No, sir. No, madam. No, madam. Now I request our education cell professor and head, Dr. Manivanan sir, to give his concluding remarks.
Respected our and beloved Dean sir and our chief guest of the day, Madam, dear respected Madam, you have given a wonderful lecture on. Just now I told you that it is not only for online class delivery as well as offline class, routine class delivery also. You have given a very nice presentation, various tips for enhancing the teaching skills of the faculty members. It was very much useful for us, as well as it was fantastic doing those starting from 2 o'clock to just now earlier. So it was really a wonderful lecture given by Madam. And on behalf of the Dean sir, our faculty members, on behalf of our beloved Dean sir, we thank you very much. And we also give our best wishes to your success in God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for those kind words. I know many of you might be even senior to me, and this is an ongoing friendship. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And it's so nice to know that many of you have attended and benefited. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Senthil Kumar, sir, for this wonderful opportunity to interact with a chosen crowd of your, college.
I also thank our Dr. Senthil Kumar for organizing this beautiful lecture. Thank you, Dr. Senthil. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So now I invite Dr. Kannan, Assistant Professor, Veterinary Clinical Complex, to propose the vote of thanks.
Good evening to all. I'm here to present vote of thanks. First of all, we thank our Dean sir for providing this wonderful opportunity. Thank you, sir. On behalf of Veterinary College, Nadu, we would like to thank our today's speaker, Dr. Vidyaa Iyer, Madam, for her eye-opening lecture on connecting the dots. Thank you very much, Madam. I thank all HODs and faculties of Tanvas for their active participation in this webinar. Thank you, sirs and madam. Last but not least, I thank our HOD, Dr. S. Senthil Kumar, for organizing this webinar in a very good way. Thank you, sir. Once again, thank you one and all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
There is somebody who has raised hand.
No,
Department of Veterinary Medicine.
No, madam. No.
Okay.
Madam has left.
Okay.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.